Hello ducklings, my name is Anis. This is a trigger warning video because it's about my surgery and my weight journey. And what I have done since last is I actually got myself a notebook. I didn't buy any fancy one, but I did buy one. I decorated myself so it should look a little more fancier. And this is for me to be able to go back in time to see things, what I have been doing, if I have any comment about it and that type of things, and even backgrounds to it, so I know very fast where to start look if I need to find the details later. And I think this is a great idea to do. And today was to my sleep apnea yearly visit, and it shows up that my sleep apnea is now under control with the CPAP machine, and it's my sleep apnea that is the background why I'm gonna do a gastricsleeve or a bypass. I still don't know what's gonna be before I have been under under surgery, because it can be circumstances that change the chosen thing from sleeve to bypass. It depends when they open me up what it will be, but hopefully it's just gonna be a sleeve, because I prefer that in that case, even if you still have to live similar, but you have a less problem afterwards, or less circumstances that can give you problems after that. And then I thought, even told my nurse with a sleep apnea thing that I'm going to surgery soon. It's less than 1 month now, TPK. And she said good luck and hope it goes well, but like she said, she can't guarantee I'm gonna get rid of it, but she said it can even be better, and maybe some circumstances maybe it's still that low, so I don't gonna need a CPAP machine in the future, but we don't know before I have done it. But she said I'm welcome to contact them if I want to try and do a new test thing to see how it goes, but that is long way down in the future yet, and you still need to do the surgery and live with it for a while before. But she said the sleep apnea are under control, so it's very good result now for the whole year. So even if I've been injured in my shoulder and everything, I had disturbed my sleep too, so it's still better than before, much better. And just to let people know a little more about the background, because I had to put it down, because I started with put down the background and the other type of decisions to show the road, how long time it takes for me to reach this point. And then I started to now put down during the vacation, gonna put down even for myself measurements and weight and that type of things. I'm not gonna tell that much in details for you, maybe in the future, but not now. I don't feel for it, and I don't want to treat people more than necessary. So I started with my background. I'm gonna tell you a little about it, how long time this really have happened. And I have started to complain very early on my weight issue, because I have thyroid problems and all that type of thing. I have fibromyalgia, a lot of things that actually can tick how hard it can go when you want to lose weight. Because even if you try, your body don't want to cooperate, and it doesn't matter what you do, and you feel like, I had tried a lot of different things, but nothing works. You have some doctors that don't take it serious and say, oh, you start to get a little older, maybe you should be satisfied just if you have other things under control and that type of things. But it's not what I'm feeling. And then I started to be this tired, and also have this can't get rid of the fucking weight, even if I try. And I was like that. I need something that's gonna be for a long time, so I can deal with it, but I'm also that tired, and I was really bad tired. I think I have talked about it earlier. You probably can find a video about that type of things too. I'm not gonna go into the sleep apnea part itself that much, not more if I find any result when it comes to this surgery, but I will tell you when it started. And when I started to complain and actually got the first paper sent to a specialist to take decisions, was actually in end of October 2020. So that shows how long time I have actually fighting for this thing. And then it went over to specialists, a question from my doctor about this thing in Gothenburg. And it took very long time before we even got an answer back from them. It didn't come any answer before July 2021. You see, October, July. And then they just told me, you are on the waiting list. Nothing more. Then it took to end of December 2021 for me to get a decision, and they say no, you're not heavy enough. And they didn't take in all the other troubles I have. That was before I knew about the sleep apnea, but I have other issues too. But they didn't count them as serious, and then I can't go on the lower scale of the BMI. So I got a no. And I was really disappointed. I was crying and I was complaining to my doctor and everything. And I was so sad that they didn't think the other thing I had with issues too was calculated that bad enough, because everything of them can give you a very early death. And it's not like I want to die earlier than I have to. Some things you maybe can't blame because it could be an accident or whatever, but I still want to live a normal life, and I don't want to die because I have too much weight. With the other other issues I have with my health that I still try to get rid of. I do try my best to find methods and other things. I have solved some things, but I can't go all the way with all the things. I still need help. So I was sad that I got that decision that 2021 in December. But then in February 2022 I was called to this thing with the sleep apnea to do this test, and in March they gave me this equipment that so I could sleep with, so they can find out what's going on. I think I have done some posts, either in some comments or whatever, I don't remember, but I had all those things taped all over my body to register my breathing and my pulse and my oxygen levels and that type of things. And just a week after I did a test, I got the message from that doctor, that specialist, that you have a very bad sleep apnea. And she said back then that you now have the things for getting this surgery for free, because that's what I tried to do. You can always pay private, but that costs very, very much money, and that's money I don't have. And said you have all the circumstances to actually get it. You are have enough in this one at least. So I sent in a new appointment about that in March 2022 by my own doctor, helped me with that. And already in the end of March I got a message back from that obesity surgery place in Gothenburg that I was now approved. I now filled up for everything you needed to be to get the operation for my weight, and now been put up on a waiting list for the surgery itself. And this year in May I got a message that Gothenburg moved me over to another district inside the region I live in. So it was Falköping that are gonna take care about me. So I know at least it started to move by that time. And not far from that I actually got my preliminary date for surgery, and then they said September 14th in Falköping. And in May the 12th I was there to get all the information I needed before and get all the papers fixed, and they told me what to do, and I even have the pages on the internet that I can go and follow up if I need any information that is on the net. I can always contact them too before, but now it's time for that. So in June I was meeting the whole team that's gonna do the surgery, and hopefully the surgeon too, because she said that it's probably gonna be hard, but by that time they didn't have everything sorted yet, so it could be another surgery too. And it was during this date they said about the day to 14th of September, because it's no surgery during the summers. And we always also made, together with the surgeon, made a decision it's gonna be a gastricsleeve, but she said if she sees something when she opened me up, it might be a bypass too, but hopefully everything is okay, so I can have my sleeve. That's gonna be a little easier to live with, because it's not that much by effects of it. You still need to think of what you're doing and eating and all the time like a bypass person, but it can be a little bit easier, and maybe you don't get all the other stuff too. But then I started to also read about it. I got a new letter. So last week I was taking more blood samples because my tests should be a little too old for the surgery itself, so I needed to renew them. So I have done that too, and I know that I'm gonna have my pulver diet, or what do you call it, that strict diet on pulver for 2 weeks before too, but it's not starting. It's next week plus 3 more days into the week after that I still can eat normal. Then I need to start that before the surgery. But now it comes to before the surgery, I had a goal how much I needed to go down, but I also knew that just after I was there in June, I was actually gaining a little weight, but I have lost that too. And I started to change some things. I got even before that have things to do with a soap in the evening and in the morning before I go to the surgery. And I also got the information on how to do with all my medication. So for the thyroid, I'm still gonna take it as usual, but I should avoid my blood pressure medication because it's a really bad one. So they don't want you to take it when you have a surgery, because that's not good. They're gonna be very hard work for them too if I had taken it. And after that I changed it out. I used to drink this fizzy water, Luca we call it, with different tastes, but because I can't drink fizzy water for at least a period when it comes to my surgery and after, so I needed to find something else to make water taste a little better, and I actually find this syrup I've been talking about before that have 0 calories, 0 sugar, and it's perfect. I tried a lot of different tastes and it is tasty, very tasty. So I can recommend it if you live in Sweden. I don't know if other countries have the same, but this is good. You mix it with 1 part of that and 9 others, and it tastes great. And to know that you don't actually get any calories and you don't get any sugar, so that's good for you, because that means I can drink it even after the surgery without a problem. So then I don't have to depend on Luca, and it's actually cheaper for me to buy this than that fizzy water I usually do. And it have been working at work too, so I don't see any problem with replacing that one. And I also started to think about what I'm eating, and start to think a little more about protein and that type of things, and take away maybe unnecessary calories. And during my vacation start walk a lot more, because when you're on vacation you maybe don't move in the same way like you do at work. At work I have to move a lot, so I wanted to go a lot of steps. But I know when I'm on vacation, if you don't go to a place where you have to walk and that type of things, it's easy to just be lazy even if you don't have to. So I was thinking that I try to walk as much as possible. I'm gonna take some rest day too now and then, because you need to rest the body between too, so you not just focus on do too much either, because you need to keep some energy level up. But I think I have come to a good way so far, because now I've been talking about my vacation in this book, and I only have 3 weeks vacation before I go back and work 2 weeks and 2 days. I took 1 extra vacation day before the surgery because it's things I need to do before, and I need to packing and that, and because I have to go in very early. I don't want to have the stress to work first, calm ham stress, and then I have to do all these things, and then I need to go up very early. So I took 1 extra, so I got only gonna work 2 weeks and 2 days after my vacation. So I have still 1 more week after this week I'm filming, so I still can do my extra exercise during that time. And in Sweden we are very much about week numbers. A year have 52 weeks, so we have week 1, week 2, up to 52, so you can know what I'm talking about. So last week that was week 32. I did a lot of walking between Wednesday and Sunday. Before that it was not that great to go out because we had that big storm Hans here with the really bad weather, both when it comes to rain and when it comes to wind. So it was not even safe to go out, and yeah, you don't have to take more risks than necessary. But I did walk the rest of the week, even if it was a little rain in the start. And actually in the end of that week I was down to my surgery weight. Yeah, you heard it. I was down to the weight I should have to my surgery. So that is before that diet I'm gonna go for 2 weeks. A liquid diet or whatever you should call it. And now we are in this week. Of course, when I'm filming this, it's on the Thursday, but I can talk about the week so far. Already during Monday, I have now gone under my surgery weight in the mornings, and I really try to think what I'm eating, and that I'm trying to learn to drink enough too, because I'm gonna have that thing when I have done the surgery. I can't drink at the same time. I have to go a certain time between before and after, and then I can only eat when I'm eating, so no liquid. So I try to think that I actually get a routine that I'm drinking enough during a whole day and regularly, so it's gonna be more natural for me to have those different type of things, even if I'm still drinking when I'm eating, of course, but it's gonna be a little bit easy for me to start to adjust to that part. And actually when we came back to this morning, before I had to go to my meeting about my sleep apnea, so you know, I was over 1 kilo under my surgery weight in the morning. And it's the morning weight that is the most important for the surgery, because that's the weight I'm gonna have when I come there. So you could see my smile on my face when I knew I'm over 1 kilo down. I'm 1.2 kilo down from my surgery weight. That means I have already, since I met them, going down from the weight I have gone down 5.2 kilos. I'm gonna try to see if I can find what that is in pounds, but if I remember. But for me that feels great, because the only thing I've done is actually done those small changes right now and a little walking, so I'm not lazy during my vacation. So I'm very excited to see how it goes, and I'm even more excited to see how far it's gonna go when I go on the diet, because of course I'm gonna continue with the diet as planned, even if I'm already under the weight, because I talked with different people on the internet about it that have done this type of surgery, and one person was in the same thing like me, actually reached that level before, way before, and that surgeon said you don't have to go on that diet, you can come in as you are. But she told that she actually regret that she didn't do it, because that is also a test for you to see how the life gonna be, because even if it's not the same, it still puts you on the months that you can't eat and drink in the same way like you used to. So it feels a little more like you're gonna feel, because this surgery is not a quick fix. You have to think more than once before, and I know it's gonna be even if you maybe get things sorted when it comes to the physical part, you still have a mental part that also need to catch up. And I know that a lot of people that have done this bariatric surgery said the same, that actually it's the mental part is even harder, because even if they now have got done and it's down on normal BMI and that type of thing, they still see the same person that they were before they started. And even if they had 2 pictures beside from when they started the travel or the journey till today, they can see on a picture, they can see how big difference it is, but the mental bit is still that they still have to struggle, that they don't feel like they belong, even if they also have noticed that they now started to be treated different by people, because people started to treat them much better since they lost weight. And it's a bit sad, because we should all be treated just the same. And this was all for now, because I just wanted to do a bigger update. And now maybe I do something closer in time for the surgery, but I don't know. But this was what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to give a more better background with everything, with dates and how long. So it's almost 3 years since I started the whole thing, and before I reached the state for the surgery, and even have to fight for getting one, because I had other issues and it showed up I had a more serious one too, and it might be caused by that type of things too. They can't promise that I'm gonna get rid of it, but every kilo down is also gonna have that part too, so be better. So maybe in future I don't have to use my CPAP machine for having a good sleep, so my body is not stressed of other type of reasons, because I don't breathe and that type of things. I have oxygen enough in the level, and my heart gonna take damage too on the way. So for me, everything is a gain, no matter how we're gonna end. I don't know how the result gonna be, and I'm not sure how we're gonna go with the travel. I know it's not gonna be easy, but at least I try. And like I said, do a journal or something, so you have something to compare with in the future. You can put down ups and downs and everything, and if you want to put down your measurements and all that type of things, you can do that too. You don't have to tell other people, but you can have it so you can watch that, because even if everything stands still when you're gonna take the weight, you might be losing measurements instead, so you see other things go slimmer. So sometimes it's better to watch one side. If that goes slimmer, it doesn't matter if it's standing still on the weight scale for a moment, because at least you're on the way. And some parts like muscles are actually weighing more than fat. So that's all. I hope you don't be too bored or too intrigued of this, but I wanted to do an update about this. Thanks for watching. Love you all. Bye.